Okay, hello everyone. It looks like we're good to get started here. So, obviously, we're really happy to have you here today. So, thanks for joining our introductory briefing on MindManager for Mac 13. I'm Craig Bond, and I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager for MindManager. And we're hoping you'll be pleasantly surprised at the enhancements that you're going to see in this new version, especially in terms of project management capabilities. And I'm very excited to have you here today because this is by far our most significant release on the Mac platform to date. And it brings with it a long list of new enhancements and implementations that will help our users better manage their projects, especially in this new age of remote working. So before we get started, let's just take a quick look at the release date and the pricing. And this product was released on April 29th. So just recently, and we've had some amazing feedback so far from the market and from reviewers. In terms of pricing, a perpetual license is $349 US, 289 pounds, and 349 euros. An upgrade, which is available to license holders of MindManager for Mac versions 11 and 12, $179 or euros and 149 pounds. And the upgrade protection plan or UPP for 89 US dollars and euros or 74 pounds. And UPP, well, that is, it's a yearly subscription service that guarantees users with access to upgrades to all the latest versions and premium telephone support. So when the next version of the Mac product is released, for instance, users with UPP will get that automatically without having to pay the upgrade fee. So I'm just going to jump right in, and I'm going to talk about the big theme that we're all currently faced with, and that is planning for the new norm. And that new norm that we're all experiencing is disruption. And some of the areas that you see here may be obvious, but they're all worth mentioning because just over a month or so ago, who among us would have predicted that we'd all be taking part in the world's largest work from home experiment in response to the coronavirus? And it's an extraordinary situation and a challenging situation for people everywhere. And amongst all the chaos, technology is evolving and it's changing the landscape of how we work and how we live. And how will all that change the way we work and collaborate? And the reality is that everything's changing and may potentially change. Organizational structures, staff, goals, strategy, the competition, the marketplace, and the rules that govern it. Change is accelerating, and we've said that for a long time, but I think it's even more true now. So, how do you approach identifying and attacking the potential threats and opportunities that lie ahead? And all that's at a higher level. But what about the individuals that make up an organization or make up part of one of the many teams that make up an organization? I personally fall into that category. And one of the things that I deal with on a daily basis is information overload. And this is a common problem all across the globe. And to add to all the confusion, how do we stay focused with all the distractions going on around us? And the answer is that it's not easy. Just to throw some numbers out there's a true cost to improper information management in the business world. We have 39% of workers who say that they don't have access to the right applications to do their job, and 47%, so nearly half, say they can't reliably find the information required to do their jobs. And yet another 50% claim that projects fail at their organization due to poor team alignment. And in total, 73% of all workers say they could be more productive if they could somehow spend less time managing incoming information. And these numbers are significant, and organizations should sit up and take notice because information overload or information mismanagement or whatever you want to call it, it has a true cost on the bottom line. I mean, if 47% of your workers can't find the info they need to do their jobs, that's money directly lost in terms of lost productivity. And one of the ways that information in an organization can be handled is with visual work management software such as MindManager. So in a yearly survey conducted by Chuck Frey of the mind mapping software blog, he has thousands and thousands of followers. Actual users of this type of software report an increased ability to understand complex issues, reach clarity faster, manage information overload, or synthesize synthesize information and improve knowledge capture. So a lot to do there with knowledge and information and the management and handling of that. And being able to better deal with that allows individuals to make and teams to make better decisions, to communicate better and be better organized. And that is significant because all of these things have a positive effect on an organization's bottom line and makes users more productive, makes workers more productive, sorry. So in the age of remote working that we've recently found ourselves in, the core tenets of visual work management software such as MindManager still hold true. It helps individuals and remote teams stay focused and stay aligned. And key use cases, as reported by our own users, include brainstorming or group brainstorming, project planning, task and project management, strategic planning, knowledge management and sharing, meeting management, and more. And it does this by offering a powerful set of mapping and diagramming tools that enable users to transform scattered ideas and data into dynamic visual maps, diagrams, flowcharts, matrices, and more. And capturing, organizing, managing, and sharing this bit of business critical information is made easier and more efficient. So these tools and this type of software is proven to help individuals and teams who use it to achieve professional success. We hear this all the time. It's used by project managers, IT, R&D, engineers, procurement, human resources, PR and marketing, and then even frequently by independent consultants. They manage theirs and their clients' projects. So a really broad user base and effective for any number of industries or job positions. And now that we've done a high-level review of what visual work management software is, what it does, who it's used by, and how it benefits individuals and teams professionally, let's deep dive directly into MindManager for Mac 13. And it's our most, as I said before, most significant release yet on this platform, with major enhancements in the following areas: project management, visualization. There's features unique just to Mac, mobile integration, and a host of productivity and usability enhancements that make the software easier to use, more intuitive, which all help with just the general enjoyment, but also the productivity that the user will experience. So with that in mind, I'm going to dive directly into the demo portion of today's presentation, and I'm moving a bit quickly because I want to keep us on track for time. And this is the familiar look and feel of MindManager, and it's still super easy to brainstorm, conduct strategic planning sessions, manage meetings, and capture and share knowledge. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. We've just been looking at PowerPoint, which is the industry's most widely used tool for presentations, but it's not the only option. MindManager is a super effective tool for that purpose, and it gives you a very different and effective look, feel, and flow. And we use it at our own organization all the time. So we use the program that we're trying to market to others. So we're going to deep dive here at some of the biggest enhancements and new implementations of MindManager for Mac 13. And in keeping with the themes of this release, MindManager lets you manage projects visually with your Mac and across platforms. And let's dive in directly to the project management enhancements and implementations for this release. And we're going to take a look at some of the key tools for project managers. And the big enhancements that we've made, or implementations, these are all new, are Gantt charts. If you know, Gantt charts are huge for project managers. Tag view or Kanban style view, project costing, and resource management that allow you to better manage your projects. So if I dive in here, our first map that I want to look at, all I need to do here is click the attachment icon, and that's going to open up the this pane on the task pane on the right hand side here, I'm going to open up our first map. And this is a project plan for for our made up enterprise land corporation. And the internal name for this project is Project Zephyr. So as a project manager, I'm in charge of keeping the launch of our web app and our mobile app on target. And there are 4 teams involved in this project here. We have the design team and the development team, the QA team, and the marketing team. And this is a this is the map that I've developed to manage this project and keep the development of our, the different teams on track and all the roles and responsibilities assigned. So with this in mind, I get an at-a-glance overview of all the tasks associated with this project. And we have, status indicators. So for instance, if I'm looking at the mobile app here and research is making some progress, I can click that all the way to the end. And when it's done, I get a done marker there. I can also have priority markers, so research is obviously super important. Maybe the testing, although this is just a representation, is not so important, so we lower that down to a lower priority. But all of those features and functions existed in previous versions. But what's new here is we have a more rounded set of project tools, including project costing and resource management. So keeping costs and resource allocation in sight is obviously a key to managing any successful project. And our new project costing tool lets users quickly add costs, individual costs, into project maps and easily update them. So it'll sum totals and so on with a simple click. So let's see how that works. If I look here under mobile app, I can see the total estimated cost of the design team's impact on the mobile app. So, 7,600 for design, and all of these costs rolled up into one will roll up automatically. So the mobile app here under design team is about $19,000. So costs I have broken down are obviously research, design, and testing. And once the costs are rolled up, it gets tallied and it rolls itself to the top if you have it set up that way. So the total design team impact is here, development team, and that all rolls up to the top. So the total cost of this entire project is around $70,000. And I can easily set costs and make adjustments. So for instance, I can right click here and I can modify this task info. So right now there's a general cost associated with this research of about $2,400. Maybe there's some hardware or something, but they want to buy a new iPad. So I'm just going to add $1,000 to that. Look here, that's going to tally up automatically and roll its way up to the top. Now, Alia is my star researcher, and I have her assigned to this project. But I want to keep her. So I've just given her a big raise. So she's making $80 an hour. Now she's making $90. Huge raise there. I'm going to click OK. That's going to update automatically and roll all the way up to the top. So the new cost for this total estimated cost for this project is $74,000. So it's super easy to manage costs and manage my resources here. All I need to do is just click, make a few adjustments, and I can apply that to my whole project. It's super fast and easy to set up. Now I'm just going to clean up my view here. So I'm just going to click the task tab at the top here and hide the task pane. And the next thing I want to do is take a look at the Gantt charts that we've implemented into this version. So next to task pane here, we have Gantt chart. So if I just click that, this is what I'm going to see. So as a project manager, obviously Gantt charts are a key tool for me. They give me detail, they give me visibility, and essentially I can more effectively plan, I can coordinate and execute my projects with this tool. It helps me to, it's one particular tool that gives me a nice clear overview of what's going on. And we're ahead of schedule, so I'm just going to kick off the project a bit early here. So I'm going to click up here, move project, change the start date. We're well on track. Just going to update that. And instead of having to do every task individually, I'm just going to do it once, and that's going to update for me with a couple clicks. So as you can see, we have this project well in hand, and if you just need to adjust some project information, such as, the duration of an individual task, you can just click and drag like so. Okay, Ali needs a little bit more time for research, so we're going to drag that up to 10 days. There we go. So just with a click and drag, I can adjust the duration and update that automatically. You can also adjust the progress of tasks by clicking and dragging. So if something, is complete, it will automatically turn itself to green. So on this little drag arrow here, I can just move that over to the right, and the progress is going to update as I drag it over. Once it's done, it's going to turn itself green, so I can see that right away. So obviously, Gantt charts give a clear project overview. You got start dates, end dates, progress, total cost, and so on. Mac users are known for their aesthetic preferences, right? So we've created a beautiful design for our Gantt charts that we're sure that users are going to love. And, this is a really nice one. I'm a Mac user myself, so I really, really appreciate the design that they've put into this. So that's just a really quick overview of Gantt charts, but as project managers know, Gantt charts are a very powerful tool. I'm going to move on to the next map just to keep us on time here. And the next map that I want to demonstrate is for a tag view feature, which is a Kanban style columnar view for project managers as well. So as a project manager, tag view allows me to instantly identify backlogs, bottlenecks, and resource issues. Let's check our next map. So this map here is a representation of the software development project for the web and mobile app of Project Zephyr that we just looked at. So it's another map for the same project, all within one program. And this is the default map view, and it's a master list of logged issues, new feature requests, and more. But to get a clearer project overview, I'm going to select tag view. Now, as a project manager, I can clearly see what's been logged as a bug, a new feature request, a change request, and what's been completed. Now I can see the number of items in each list at the top, and how many items have been logged into each column. And in a real project, this could expand to hundreds of items per column. And I can keep the interface clean here by hiding uncategorized items or other columns. But before I do that, I have two new items to drag into my list. So two things that have just been logged. So I'm going to drag this one over. This is a bug. And you see that that's going to format automatically because I have it set up with smart rules. So additionally, there's been progress made on this project, and there's some high priority items that have been completed. So I can just easily drag those over. So for instance, this feature here, done. And then this bug report was just reported as done as well. And all I need to do is just mark those off each as done, and those are going to format automatically. And there's also different ways to format your view if you like. In this view, I can see which category the task falls under, so bug, new feature, and so on. And if I switch my view, because I've set it up this way, I can see which team is responsible, so I know who to follow up with in the event of any delays. So is the design team here at fault, or is the engineering project on track? Or, if there's some issues here that I need to follow up with, I know who I can talk to. Now, tag views are super popular, in the industry, and we think we've done a great job implementing that. So that's just a quick overview of our tag view. Again, I'm just going to drag that over, get it out of my way. And here's another example of a Gantt chart that we didn't look at before, but I've embedded this thumbnail into my map so that, if I'm showing somebody or capturing knowledge or sharing or so on, it's readily available. And another thing, there's key dependencies here that I didn't show you in the original Gantt chart, but very powerful tool there. So I'm going to move on to the visual enhancements of this release. And I've already demonstrated the ease of navigation with our new ribbon, which falls into Home, Insert, Task, Advanced, and View. And essentially that just keeps, my key features and key options easily accessible and at my disposal. So just showing you a thumbnail. Thumbnail is another key visual enhancement. It's a small enhancement, but obviously a very powerful tool for visualizing. And next up, what I want to do is take a look at some of the usability enhancements that we've made to our flow charting feature. I'm going to click on this map that I have embedded. And the first thing I want to do is just fit the map on the screen. So just a couple clicks here. There we go. I've got it nicely fit. And this is the flowchart for the web and mobile app of Project Zephyr that we were just looking at. Fancy that. So we've got another type of chart here, all for the same project. There's a couple of things that I want to do here that may not look like much on the surface, but when you compare it to our earlier versions, it makes the product much more versatile and user-friendly. And the first is adding multiple relationship lines to a single topic. So in previous versions, I could only have one line going into a topic container. And in this version, all I need to do is click on the starting topic, click on insert there, and relationship. Now I can have more than one relationship line going into a topic. Small enhancement, but a key for anybody that's working on flowcharts. The next thing is that I realized I missed a step in the verification process. Somebody 5 minutes ago, in a meeting reminded me, hey, what happens if the email is not verified? Well, I can click here, I can add a relationship line and go back to register step 1. But that is not ideal, because you can see here that this line is overlapping. And in this version, we've added relationship points. So now I can click and drag these points to any place on the topic container just that easily. So email is not verified. Now this map's looking pretty good. It's almost ready to send, but I just realized, oh, look, this is not nice and straight here. I'm just going to quickly straighten that out. Click and drag, format, I'm just going to align. That is a nice looking flowchart. I think I'm ready to send that to the team for their review, and sign off. So again, very seemingly small enhancements, but in terms of usability, this makes our flowcharting capabilities that much more powerful. Simple, but effective. So let's move on here. The next thing I want to do is talk about enhancements just for Mac. And in this version, we've added iCloud support. So, I think that's self-explanatory, but Mac users can now save and access their maps on iCloud. So I've set it up in my program here. All I need to do is click Save As. I've added my own iCloud account here, so it's available. I can save to iCloud. I can access my maps directly from my iCloud account. We've also added Catalina and Sidecar support, and Catalina is the latest version of Mac's operating system, which supports Sidecar. And we've added Sidecar functionality into MindManager so that users can extend or mirror their desktop onto an iPad or iPad Pro. And this makes it a super versatile tool to share your screen across the desk. For instance, it's great for agencies or consultants presenting concepts or project plans to clients. So you just stick a tablet in the customer's hand or client's hand, and they can watch what you're doing on the screen, and then they can comment on it as well. We're also continuing to add more support to MacBook Pro Touch Bar, so users can now add tags to their topics in addition to existing functionality. So a few tools just for Mac there. And let's move on to our final section. I'm going to talk about MindManager Go and MindManager Snap, which were released with MindManager 2020 for Windows last September. And we're now adding this functionality to Mac. So MindManager Go is a mobile app that works on iPhone and iPad and Android mobile devices. And essentially, users can now open files and view them on the go. And it's currently a viewing application as we've not yet added editing functionality. But nevertheless, it's a useful tool for users to take their maps with them, in their pocket wherever they go. It has useful functionality that allows for filtering and sorting of complex maps. A very clean, nice interface there. MindManager Snap is a content capture tool, and it's integrated as part of MindManager Go for mobile. So here's how it looks down here. And essentially, whenever inspiration strikes, so whether you have an aha moment at 2 a.m. or you're on beach while on holiday, you can send photos, you can send notes or web links to yourself, and this will later automatically appear in what's called the Snap queue within the MindManager application. So whenever you launch MindManager later on, it'll be there waiting for you. You can just set it and forget it. You just jot an idea down, and later it's going to be there when you launch the software, whether it's an hour later or whether it's 3 days later. It's also available as a desktop application within the Chrome browser extension. So here's how it looks. When you have the extension installed into Chrome, it's going to appear at the top of your browser window next to the address bar. It's going to appear in blue to show that it's enabled. You can go anywhere on the web. So whether you're on Google Images or any other website, you can send bookmarks to yourself. You can right-click and send images to yourself. And when you do that, it's going to come up with a little pop-up, and then you can edit the topic text, the topic link, or maybe there's an image here, and then notes to yourself just for extra context and reminder. Later, okay, 2 days later, I come back to MindManager. I open my desktop application, and here's my Snap queue. Hey, I've got a presentation to give next week. While I was browsing the web last time, I just saw this great sales funnel example, and I thought that would be perfect for my presentation next week. I just sent it to myself, and when I log into my application, it's going to be there waiting for me in my Snap queue. I didn't even have to think about it. I just put it into my Snap queue, and there it is. Here's my personal organizer map, and this is how it looks. I just drag that in. To illustrate that, I'm just going to go here on the web, and let's say I'm on MindManager website, and I see this great example for a flowchart. So I'm just going to right click. You're going to see MindManager Snap enabled, and I'm going to send this image to myself. Okay. So flowchart example. Oh, this is going to be perfect for my presentation next week. Okay, but I don't have time to think about it right now. I'm just going to send it to myself and I'll forget about it. So that quick, send it to myself. All I need to go here, open up my Snap queue, flowchart example. What's it? It's already there. So I can drag that, pretend this is my personal organizer map. I can edit this text box, topic box, however I want to put the text down here, or whatever I want to do. It's going to have a link to the website. It's going to have the notes there as well that I've added. So that's going to show up as, it'll tell me to remember that for my flowchart next week. So a really great tool, and that's how fast it appears in the Snap queue. And in terms of publishing, we already had this functionality available in previous versions of the software, but I think it's really important to re-illustrate this here just because of what's going on. So I'm just going to take 5 seconds here or 1 minute to illustrate our publishing feature. And I'm going to do that by clicking on the first map. And here's the project plan. I want to share this with the whole team. So all I need to do is click Start New Publish, and that's going to go that fast. I can publish it privately, or I can publish it with a password. If I take a minute, this is going to show up with a preview there. But to move things along, I'm going to click Publish. There, it's that simple. I can copy the link. I can share that with people. I can embed it in a website somewhere. Or if I want, I can just click View. And there it is. It's available that quickly. So now I can click around, and this is exactly what your coworkers are going to see when you share it with them. They can see the map, and you can get on a call. You can talk them through it. It's going to be, it's a great tool. Again, this was available in previous versions of the product, but I just thought it was great to mention again, with the remote working situation that many of us are faced with now. Fantastic tool. So I know I flew through everything. I wanted to keep us on target and on time. We look forward to your questions and feedback. And I hope this was a super valuable, demonstration for you, and that you got a lot out of it, a lot of information, and can see the real possibilities here with what we've added to MindManager for Mac. So thanks so much for listening, for taking the time today. We really appreciate it, and we'll hope to see you again soon. All right, take care.